We are finally ready to start putting the sprayer together. We're going to build this boom, or at least going to get it started today. So we got a 7-foot bar here, and we want to center it on this tank back here. These two bars down here that we're going to drill in and weld it to are 19 inches from end to end, but they're about 17 and an 8 from the center of each bar to the center of the other bar. So if my math serves me correctly, I need 33.3 inches inward on either side of this, and that should center me up right here. So I have a mark at 33.3. We'll do the other side quick. Now we got a mark here and a mark here. We're going to hold it up and make sure that it does center itself on these bars here. And then if it does, we will drill holes through it, bolt it to this, and then we'll get the welder out and weld it up a little bit. Well, there we go. It's kind of starting to look like a sprayer now. So that's the back boom. It's 7 foot wide. So it's just out to the outside of each wheel in the tractor, which is exactly what I wanted. It's center enough for me and it's level enough for me. It ain't going to be perfect, but hey, as long as it looks all right, I'm happy with it. I have this piece of flat iron here. It's not exactly what I would like. This is just what I had on hand, and I didn't want to spend more money than I had to. So we're going to use this piece of flat iron. It's like a 2-inch wide, and I would rather 1.5 inches to kind of match the tube steel. But we're going to cut 4-inch sections, and then what we're going to do is we're going to weld them 2 on each end, 1 here and 1 here, and that's going to create a yoke, and we'll drill holes in them then, and that way our booms, they will just go in here, bolt into it, and we'll run a bolt through them, and then, you know, that's how they'll fold up and down. Well, we're going to see how this goes. I've been trying to teach myself how to weld over the last 2 weeks or so, so I feel like I have a good enough grip on it that I can at least make something stick to metal. It ain't going to be pretty, but it'll at least get the job done. Well, it ain't professional, but I think it'll at least stick. I'm also going to put a weld under here and on this side over here. And then I think I'm also going to take the grinder and just kind of taper this off. Might be one of my better welds. I'm pretty pleased with that. I like that a lot, actually. There we have it. That's one completed yoke. I might do a little bit of cleanup grinding, because you know what they say, a grinder and a paint make you the welder you ain't. But overall, I think it's pretty decent. There's some splatter. I ain't perfect. I think it'll hold, though. They're on there pretty good. I got it relatively flush, so I'm happy with how that turned out. There we have it. That is the back boom completed. Holes drilled and yokes welded. Finally get to use my new tool. Well, I ran in and had lunch, and it gave me some time to think. Kind of going to redo this a little bit. Sorry, not redo it. That's the wrong word. Changing things up a little bit. I had purchased 2 additional, so 3 7-foot sections for this sprayer. And I was standing here and I was holding that 7-foot section and this 4-foot section, and I was holding it out here and I'm looking and I was like, man, a 20-foot sprayer on this little tank, it's big and it's a lot of weight. And I think that boom is just going to be too much going on out here for the stability of kind of the sprayer that I'm building. I'm not sure if my little kind of yoke things here are going to be able to handle that big boom out here, and if my tower is going to be able to handle that big boom. So I was standing here and I held up this 4-foot section. I was like, you know what? I have 4 of these 4-foot sections. Let's build a 15-foot sprayer instead. A 15-foot sprayer is going to mean less nozzle sections and less piping back here, which means I think we could probably get away with the PTO pump that's on the tractor now. That way I don't have to spend $150, $160 on the bigger pump. We're going to do some testing once it's built, but I think we're definitely going to go with this 15-foot sprayer then. That's going to make it a little bit more reasonable. Still gonna be 15 feet. That's still plenty for this tractor. Plus it's only a 50-gallon tank, and we won't run out of stuff as quickly with a 15-foot boom. It's a day later. It's a cloudy and cold day. We are back on the sprayer build. I had to do a little bit of tweaking to this. The last clip, I was trying to jam a bolt into here. The holes ended up being out of position, so I had to fill in the one hole. I think it was on this side here. Fill it in with some weld and then re-drill it to line the holes up. And then I just got the holes tapped on this side and on this boom. So we're gonna pull that wing off. We're gonna bolt the thing back on, and then we'll get the wings bolted in there. And then I think I will tack the boom in with the welder, because I think at that point everything is fabricated and ready to go. Voila. Well, I've learned that welding is like playing sports. Some days I'm good at it, and some days I'm terrible at it. Not great welds. Somehow burn a hole in there, you know, kind of pitiful welds. I have no idea what I'm doing when I'm welding uphill and downhill, so that's kind of why that looks crappy, but come on, Jake. I mean, those are horrendous. Anyway, it's holding on there. If it breaks, we'll re-weld it. Well, I got a much better weld on this side. And over here, I spent a while trying to fill in the hole that I made. Kind of filled it in. Now I'm trying to just put a bead on there of some sort. But I gotta be careful that I don't melt back through it. Feel free to critique my welding skills. I'm not good at it at all, but I do enjoy it, and I'd like to get better. So feel free to leave a comment. However, if you're gonna be a smart aleck about it, I will delete it, so don't be stupid. Well, conveniently, my phone died, like it normally does on a cold winter day when I'm filming a lot, but we got our tower built. 2 pipes in the center, 1 4-footer across the top, and then my plan will be tack a chain onto here, and then onto here, and we can lower that, and that chain will stretch out, hold the boom up, and then I'm probably trying to think here what I wanna do, but I might just like put on a little hook right here, so then that chain that's hanging here, I can just take that and hook it onto there, so that way my wing won't unfold itself, which I honestly do not think it would unfold itself even if I didn't hook it up, because they're heavy and they're, you know, they're pretty tight in those yokes there. So that's the plan though, and that's what I think I'm gonna do. It was definitely fun building this because I got to teach myself to weld, and now I kind of enjoy welding. Today was not a great day for welding. I don't know why. Just some of my welds were really decent and some of them were absolutely crap. Like here was another okay one, and then my next weld was literally this pile of crap. And then I welded the backside here and it was also a pile of crap. And then my next weld after that was somewhat decent. So I don't know what's the cause of that. It's probably me. And obviously I don't know the settings on the machine. You know, I'm not like in tune with welders and stuff. I'm just kind of going off of what I've been doing here in the last couple days. So anyway, there's a sprayer, the boom, and everything is fabricated and built. Next step will be to get the piping and the plumbing and the nozzles and nozzle bodies and all that stuff, and then we can hook it up, throw some water in it, and spray it. I did have a little bit of an oopsie though. I was welding back here, which I actually welded a really nice bead back there, and caught the tank on fire. And it was melted, and I touched it and I kind of put an indent in it, and so I'm hoping that that did not put a hole in it, because that would really suck if I put a hole in my tank. That would defeat the whole purpose of me doing all this work, although I could probably remelt it and form it back together. I don't know. Hopefully I didn't put a hole in it, because I don't really want to deal with anything of that.